Hey y'all, my name is Ashley, writer, producer, avid book reader, and I'm just here.
That's right. Hey guys, my name is Kelly. I am a self-proclaimed book nerd, a writer, Ashley's best friend, and I'm just here too, ready to talk about books, specifically The Hate You Give.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to the Books We Should Have Read podcast, the show on a mission to get adults who typically aren't into reading through the exploration of Black literary classics. This pod is an extension to the BWSR community, and you can find our complete book list for this season at booksweshouldhaveread.com. Tune in each episode as we discuss what we liked and disliked about these reads and whether or not they're worth your time. Yay! All right, here we go. So, character list. Oh, wait, summary. Do you want to summarize The Hate You Give?
I can summarize The Hate You Give. Yeah, of course. So The Hate You Give is a book by Angie Thomas, and it is the story of our main character, Star Carter. She's 16 years old, and she has the traumatic experience of witnessing her childhood best friend get killed by a cop. And it tells a story of a 16-year-old girl understanding this trauma, trying to digest it in a world where this is not uncommon, right? Police brutality, especially against Black people and people of color, is at, I don't want to say at all-time high, but it's now being recorded, so we know about it and witnessed. So it talks about Star going through this trauma and understanding how she feels, and also deciding, how do I change this? How is there even a way for me to be the change? And it's also about a community of people who want change for the better, and the characters in this community who've tried to push that change. And I don't know. To me, it's a few stories. Like, there's Star's story, and then there's a story about Garden Heights, which is the community. And I think it's just a great novel. Ashley, we talked about it. I thought that it blew me away, honestly. I was hesitant to read it, and I finished it and was so happy that I read that book. So
yeah,
it's just a short little synopsis or summary without giving away too much.
You do so good summing up books, because that's exactly what the story is about. All right. Do you want to hop into the character list?
Yeah, of course. So we have Star Carter, who is the main character. She's 16 years old. She is a student athlete. She's a great basketball player, a great student. She is the middle child in her family, and she's kind of straddling two worlds. So she grew up in the Garden Heights, which is a low income neighborhood. It's the hood. And she goes to school 45 minutes away in a very wealthy area. And so she says that, she's Garden Heights Star, and then she's private school Star. And she has this, she's dealing with this kind of, I would even say, crisis, identity crisis, because she's like, I can't be Garden Heights Star when I'm in school, and when I'm in Garden Heights, I can't be the in-school Star. So code switching is a term that we can use. She is a master code switcher. But she loves her family, and she loves her friends, and she loves her community. She's not ashamed of being from Garden Heights. And she's just trying to be a regular 16-year-old, but she's dealing with a lot, and she's, dealing with a lot and going through those adolescent emotions. So yeah.
At the same time dealing with a very traumatic experience with the murder of her best friend. Okay, so we have Star. Do we go into family now?
Yeah. We could go into your favorite character of the book, Ashley, if you want to talk about who that is.
Maverick, Big Mav Carter, is both my future baby daddy, but then also like my dad in real life. like he Maverick is Star's dad, but Maverick also has other children. He has his oldest son, 7, who he had with another woman. And then he has Star, the middle child. And then he has Sakani. Star and Sakani are both with his high school sweetheart, Lisa, who he is still married with. He's a fantastic father. He's an awesome husband. He's a great community leader. Yes. Even though he doesn't have like a mayoral title or anything like that. He is, to me, like the unofficial, like, mayor or big brother of the Garden Heights, like the ambassador. Sure. Like, he cares about his community. He owns a grocery store, a small grocery store in Garden Heights, and he's mentoring a lot of former gang members,
former and current. Honestly, he is, I think you summed it up. He is like a pillar in that community, and he's so young. Like when we talk about that, because he and Lisa were teen parents. His oldest son, 7, Star's older brother, he had him when he was 17 years old. So he is like a community leader, a pillar in that community, and just like such a great character. Like, I mean, truly fantastic. Maverick Carter.
I'm obsessed with him.
Ashley is very obsessed with him. I think, and I was thinking about this more, he kind of, a bit of him reminds me of my dad a little bit. But like,
yes. Even though like I'm not obsessed with your dad, like let's not.
Could you just imagine just
let me make that clear.
No, you just imagine like Kelly, by the way. No, but like just like the things that he does for the community, and just like, I don't know. I was just like, wow, like that kind of like, he just reminded me of my dad in some of those aspects. So I was like, maybe that's why I liked him a lot too, because I was just like, I just like him. He's just so familiar and warm. And then I'm like, oh, it's like kind of like my dad a little bit.
And the reason why I'm obsessed with Mav is because I didn't have a dad. And like, I wished, I know it's so awkward when I say that, but it's so true.
But it's honestly like it shouldn't be awkward. It should not be a stigma. You shouldn't feel awkward about that at all, because so many of us, like, I remember just thinking growing up, like, I thought I was just very lucky because so many of my friends didn't have a father or father figure in their life. And I just remember thinking, wow, I'm really lucky. And now that I'm older, like I realize that. So I'm grateful. And, you know, I just think that, and that's why I think I love Maverick so much too, is because he is that figure, whether it's a brother figure or a father figure, he is there, you know, for the kids in the community. And I think that those type of men are important, especially those type of Black men in our communities. They're so important for other young men and other kids just to see, you know. So.
And he's so proud to be Black, and he's so proud to be from Garden Heights.
So proud.
But we were hinting at it. He once was a gang member. He was in the King Lords? He was a King Lord. Yeah. But we can talk more about Maverick's story when we get to Concrete Rose. I won't spend too much more time on it, but he is definitely an important character. Should we go Lisa next?
Of course.
Do you want to do Lisa?
Oh gosh. Lisa is Star's mom and Maverick's high school sweetheart, then wife. She is all the things that make Black women amazing, right? Like she overcame a statistic. She was a teen mom. Nobody expected her to do anything with her life. They looked at her. She got pregnant and everybody was like, well, there goes her chances. College is done. She's going to be stuck with all these babies. And she was like, no. She was like, I'm going to raise my baby and I'm going to get that degree. And that's what she did. And she's a nurse. She's amazing at her job. She loves her family. She loves, what I love about Lisa is her love for Seven, who is her stepson, but she treats him like that is her child. And he even, their relationship, I think, is so beautiful. He even calls her ma. Like, she has never, ever, like, held against him, like, the fact that she doesn't get along with his mother and doesn't even like his mother. She's never held that against Seven. And I don't know. I just love her. I love her words of wisdom and just her outlook on everything. I think she's a great character. I just think we lucked out. I think Star lucked out with Lisa and Maverick as parents. I just love them so much.
She really did hit the lottery, because Lisa, the way that she protects her kids is like, it's something that I strive to do in my own life as a mother. But yeah, she was also played by Regina Hall. Fun fact, I saw this movie when it came out a few years ago, and it took me some time to get to the Hate U Give novel. So the whole time I'm like reading this novel, like, I'm envisioning the characters from the movie, and Regina Hall is just like, everything. Like, like, she is like, everything about Regina Hall says, like, I'm no nonsense. I can cut up a little bit, but I will get with you too.
Yes.
Especially if you fuck with my babies.
I think, and also, so I didn't see the movie. I just read this book. So I didn't have a vision. Like, the character's description served as like my vision of the characters. And I didn't even look up the character list from the movie. But I could totally see Regina Hall playing a great Lisa. So that, like, just, I don't know. It makes sense. I think that was great casting, honestly.
It really is. It's superb, like, classy, but a little bit of hood too. Like, that's Regina Hall. So anyway, we have her brother, Uncle Carlos, who in the movie was played by Common, which, like, is
honestly,
okay.
that is a great, to me, casting, because they describe Carlos as bald. I think he is bald in the light skin bald. And then when you said it, Common play him, I said, yeah, that's right, that is Common.
It's just for me though, Common just doesn't have the range. So like, that's what makes it okay. But like, look wise, yes.
Yeah,
but
see,
like,
visually,
Common plays
I'm just
Common
going off
in every
of visually,
movie that Common's in.
Visually makes sense, but I can understand that.
Because Common just doesn't have like the emotional range, but he's beautiful to look at. But Uncle Carlos is such an important character in this book, and particularly in Star's life, because when she was a baby, when she was about 3 years old, Maverick, her father, went away to prison, and her Uncle Carlos was that dad until he was released from prison. And he is a police officer, which, like, shout out to Angie Thomas for that tension. Like, Uncle Carlos is a police officer in the same exact force that 115, who was the officer who shot and killed Star's best friend Khalil. They're both like coworkers, essentially. Well, I think Uncle Carlos is a detective now at this point in the story, but still, they work for the same police force. And so, that's just beautiful storytelling. I think that was great. There.
I did think that was great, because there has to be, like, where's the tension lie, right? And it's okay. Uncle Carlos is a detective, and this cop works in the same. So now there's like tension for Uncle Carlos at the job. There's tension with Star, because she's looking at Uncle Carlos kind of sideways for the first time in her life.
Yeah, there's a lifelong history of tension between Uncle Carlos and Maverick, who they have never gotten along. And I don't want to foreshadow in Concrete Rose too much, but that it's really clear in this book anyway, and especially in the movie, when you see them around each other, they just don't fuck with each other. But they know that like they have to because of Lisa.
You have family members that like don't fuck, like they just put up with each other because like they're in-laws. You've been in them awkward barbecues and family dinners where it's just like
They're but new Ashley
here.
does not stand for that. If she doesn't want to be somewhere or around someone, she just won't do it, period. Exactly. Regardless. But yes, old Ashley, of course.
And when we were younger, yeah, for sure. I'm with you on that. Like, I just be like, yeah, I ain't coming over there, but y'all have fun. But yeah, we've 100% had to sit through awkward situations where we're like,
yeah. Another thing about Uncle
potatoes.
Carlos. Girl, we can get there. Another interesting thing about Uncle Carlos is that even though he grew up in the garden, he does not live there anymore. Like, and that is not, he hasn't outright said like, the garden is a terrible place, but like you can see it in the fact that when he got some money and opportunity, he up and left the garden and moved into a white neighborhood, gated community, right? And so that's another bit of tension too.
And I think that is like such a great thing you brought up, because how many times has it been said like, oh, it's like you're abandoning your hood when you get a little money and you get out. But also it's like this understanding, and eventually I think they get to that at the end of the book, where it's like, no, you don't have to abandon your community, but it's okay to want better for yourself and for your family and your kids. And, you know, it's like, what do I want? Do I want my kids to grow up how I grew up? Because I think about like with my dad, even like he grew up in Atlantic City. And although, you know, he grew up in Atlantic City, he just was like, he always wanted for his kids to have like a backyard and to feel safe going up and down the street, and not, you know, he didn't want us to experience the things he experienced. Right. But he loves Atlantic City, will rep it till he dies, you know, goes back to visit family all the time. We always go see our family, but it's just like, you know, sometimes you got to make those decisions. So, but it's great tension between Carlos and Maverick on that end too. Another layer of tension.
Absolutely. Okay. So 7, do you want to do 7?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So 7 is Maverick's.
Maybe do 7 and Sakani. Sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, because it's like they're 2 minor characters. So 7 and Sakani. So 7 is Maverick's oldest child. He was born when Maverick was 17, and he's not Lisa's biological son. His biological mother is Aisha, who we can get into later. But 7 is Star's older brother. He is also, like Star, just a handsome kid, great athlete, great student, just good head on his shoulders. Like, again, the parenting of Maverick and Lisa, like good head on his shoulders. He loves his sister, and they have that type of relationship where I know it's like the relationship between me and my brother, where it's just like, we don't get along. We didn't, like when we were teenagers, like we didn't necessarily get along, but wasn't nobody messing with my brother. Like, you're not going to start nothing with my brother. Only I can start something with him. And like, you know what I'm saying? And then like, I love that, like the relationship that all the siblings have. And Sakani's just a little baby brother. He on his iPad, you know, he
baby boo.
He just minded his business on his iPad, being the annoying brother, picking with his older brother and sister. And it's just like, it's such a wholesome family dynamic, right? It's like, they're just like a regular family who is experiencing a huge tragedy, because it trickles down to all the members of the family what Star experiences and what she goes through, right? It affects everybody, not just Star. So I thought that was interesting to see kind of how it affected 7. And to me, it seemed like 7 was just even more protective over her after she dealt with that, like, you know. So, but yeah, those are the siblings.
I'm so happy that we went there, because now I think it's the perfect time to introduce King, because this is just brava, Angie Thomas, for these character connections and stuff, because they're amazing. So we have King, who is not only the leader of the King Lords, which is the gang that Maverick used to be a member of, but but King is also Maverick's former best friend and is 7's stepfather?
Yes. So he's 7's stepfather, Maverick's former best friend. And he is just like, he is the best antithesis. Like he's horrible. And he's just like not a good person. He is, the leader of this gang. He is abusive. He's manipulative. He's a bully for all intents purposes.
He is, he's abusive not only to the community, but to his girlfriend, which is Aisha, Seven's mom.
Yes, he's abusive to his own family.
Yeah, and together, King and Aisha have 2 daughters, Kenya and Lyric, who are Seven's little sisters. So it's just this world and how everyone's connected is just so beautiful. Also, in the book, King is described as this big, burly, overweight, stocky dude. But in the movie, he's played by fine-ass Anthony Mackie.
It is so crazy that is who they cast it. Because honestly, I pictured him as a bigger guy who's they make him, Angie makes him sound like just the guy you're picturing. And then when I found out that Anthony Mackie played him, I was like, okay, wait, this was really creative license here, because how am I supposed to hate Anthony Mackie? How am I supposed to hate him?
Right. And I'm envisioning Anthony Mackie while I'm reading this because I saw the movie first. And it's just
I pictured a mean, kind of sloppy, big guy, linebacker type of dude.
Yeah, and that's not it. And Anthony Mackie can do a mean growl, his face. But underneath it, I see this man who I'm visually obsessed with. And it's just sure, he's a terrible person in the community, but I see why Aisha wants him, right? In my mind, because it's Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Fine as fuck. I just think that was, I love seeing him on screen at every chance I can get. But in terms of this particular story, I would have gone with I don't know. Who would you have cast in this instead of Anthony Mackie?
I would have casted a Funkmaster Flex or somebody like that. Wait, are you laughing at me wait. Wait, okay, hold on.
Yes, okay, we'll roll with it. Fuck Master Flex it is. Kelly has decided, and I'm here for that. Look,
but
I would much rather
before he lost all the weight, you know what I'm talking about. Before
I know exactly
before
what you're
he
talking
lost
about.
all the weight, because he's 100%. That's who I would have casted. Funkmaster Flex, probably
sloppy and loud, and always loud and wrong.
Yes, that's who I. So when I was reading the book, that's who I envisioned. And then when I heard it was Anthony Mackie, I'm like, "Er?" And I was like, thank goodness, I finished reading the book when I found out, because that would have tripped me up. Because I'd have been like, he is too cute to be this man.
But yeah, that's. Fuck, I was not expecting.
Who would you have envisioned if it wasn't? Now that you've read the book and the description of him, who would you say?
But now that you said Funkmaster Flex, it's how do I top that? I don't know.
It's just that's who I read, and that's no shade to Funkmaster Flex, but that's who I like.
It's all shade, Kelly. What are you talking about?
I feel like, Ashley, you're making this way worse, but you know what? I'm trying to nearby. All right.
Okay. All right. Fine. Fine. If I were to cast this, I would if reading the story, taking Anthony Mackie completely out of the picture, I probably would have cast. I can't get.
Dog. You're gonna stop laughing.
Okay, we gotta move on because I can't think of anyone else.
We'll move on because Ashley's just making me feel like I'm sense. All right, on to the next one. She can't even breathe right now.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Is that the clip? Ashley losing because I called. Since I said Funkmaster Flex was king, like the king.
That is king, though. In real life,
I think it would
king.
be him. I think he would have been a perfect to be cast in the movie as him. Honestly, he's done like little cameos.
Yeah, and in real life, he'd be stirring shit up for entertainment. Like, that is totally, like, I could never be a casting director because that's what I would look at. Like, what's my view of you on social media? Like, personally, like.
You have to, like, take it,
you
the bias
are always
out.
starting some shit.
Yeah.
Yes, it is totally Funkmaster Flex. But okay, let's talk about Chris, who is Star's boyfriend, well, we could talk about her life at her other school, which I am totally blanking on the name of.
I don't know the name of the school. And like,
it's just a white private school, y'all, where it's like three black kids in the whole school.
It's 3 black kids in the whole school. It's a white private school. You know how they are. And so
3 black kids in the whole school, 2 of which being Star and Seven, and the third one being Seven's girlfriend.
Oh, and there's a 4th one. There's a black boy because her friend Emily dates the black boy.
A black boy. So
he's on a black boy on a basketball team with Seven.
Yes. But Chris, I thought their relationship was so cute. So Chris is Star's boyfriend at high school. He is very wealthy. The school's name is Williamson Prep. Yes. Yeah. So he is a very wealthy guy. Like, in one part of the book, Star says that his entire bedroom, like her house can fit in his entire bedroom.
She did say that. And I was like, damn, hold on. I ain't go to high school with kids like that.
Like that much money? Like, come on. But anyway, and they like have this crazy bonds, like Chris is the white rich boy who loves black culture, but in a good way. He's
not problematic about it, right? Like, that's what I picked up. Like, the thing that I appreciated about Angie, so Chris and Star are in a interracial relationship, and it's like Chris appreciates black culture, but he's not like trying to be like, yo, what's up? Da-da-da. Like, no, he understands he's white. He's in his lane as being a white boy. He does like sneakers. And he's like, and he appreciates, like, he likes rap music. He's on the basketball team, but he's not like inserting himself into the culture. He's not like, and he's not fake woke. Like, the thing I liked about him is like, he is concerned about, like, he actually does care about race issues and things like that, and he's learning. And I like that he doesn't ask Star, like, well, explain it to me, explain what I should know. It's like he does his own homework.
And I like that he's not because there's like white woke people who like are very like abrasive with their wokeness. And I just love how Chris just sees that he's a participant and he wants to do better. And it's just very natural for him, especially because the woman who he cares the most about is black. And I love their relationship too. It's really cute. They bond over the weirdest shit. Like, I think it made me cringe. It was very cringy when like they would talk about Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, it was just so fucking cringy because I was just like, ew, you guys are such teenagers. I can't deal right now. Like, he would be like, he calls her the Fresh Princess. I just want to throw the fuck up.
I thought that, see, that's the thing. It's like, I thought that was cute because I'm just like, because that's like what they bond over is like, they love watching Fresh Prince reruns. And like, I thought it was a cute play on words because she's always fresh because she always got like the flies kicks. And I thought it was cute too because it's like Will Smith comes from the inner city to a prep school. That's what I correlated it into. And so she's like the Fresh Princess. I don't know. I thought it was cute, but Ashley thought it was cringy.
Cute. It's just bleh.
I thought I was dead inside, and here's Ashley shitting on 16-year-old love.
I just can't. Okay. And then we have Star's best friends at Williamson Prep. Maya, who is her Asian best friend, and it's important to note that she's Asian. And then we have Haley, which I have a note that says, fuck Haley on God, because fuck this little bitch.
My note for Haley is just Haley racist. That's the note.
Yes. So Haley so they don't really go too far into Maya other than she is also wealthy, just like the majority of kids at Williamson Prep, and that she's Asian. And that's important to note because on the other hand, we have Haley, who is very wealthy and she's white. But Haley is racist and has said racist things towards Maya's family before.
Yep. And she's the worst type of racist because she's passive aggressive and microaggressive and very like
yes, heavy with the microaggressions.
I like my racist to be loud and proud. I want to be able to spot you coming. Don't do any of that little undercover racist shit. I like my racist loud and proud.
Yes, like we see each other. Like you, like I like it real overt. Like, you know, cut and dry. Like, you don't like me because I'm black. Perfect. Because now I know where we stand with each other. And it's just easier that way.
Like, you don't like me because I'm black and I don't like you because you're racist. So perfect. Now we understand each other. You stay out my way, I stay out your way. Those are the type of racists I like. Personally.
And Haley is not like that. She is very much so, like I said, heavy on the or like we said, heavy on the microaggressions, says some rank ass shit to Star, which we will get to because that is the point that I want to talk about. But yeah, she is the worst type of white woman. I went to school with a lot of them.
I would say she's just the prime example of a very dangerous white woman. Like, because she's like this as a 16-year-old. Imagine when that 16-year-old becomes 25 and she has any slight against any person, whether they're black or another person of color, and she turns it around, uses those white tears to like kind of manipulate a situation.
Because she legitimately doesn't think that she's doing anything wrong.
That's why it's so dangerous. It's like,
and that is why. Exactly. That is why. But okay, so Maya and Haley, do we want to talk about Khalil's fine ass? Okay, Ash, and I can say Khalil's fine as fuck because I'm envisioning, again, the movie. And in the movie, it's played by the guy.
See, I'm envisioning.
I can never remember his name.
Okay, this is why. Because I didn't see them. Again, didn't see the movie, so
please give us his name when you pull him up.
What is it? Yeah, because we had this up before. Hold on, did I save it? All right, I'm pulling it up.
But anyway, he was the actor. He played. God, I can never remember the name of New Edition, but he was in the New Edition story, and he played Ron. Is it Ronnie? No, Ronnie. Ricky. Ricky?
Girl, I ain't even gonna pretend I saw. It's Algie Smith is his name.
Yes. And what's the name of the New Edition character he played? Just for my mind.
First of all, did you know he was from Saginaw, Michigan?
Did not know that. Fine as hell. Did not know he's from Saginaw.
Yes, he's from Saginaw, Michigan. Okay, New Edition movie. Ralph. He played Ralph.
Ralph. That is his name. Tresvant. Ralph Tresvant. LLL. Yes. Fine as fuck. Beautiful young man. Beautiful eyes. Like, this is who I saw in Baby Khalil.
First of all.
Who did you envision?
No. I thought Khalil was cute. Like, I definitely pictured him as like the cutest guy in the neighborhood. That's how I envisioned him. Like the best looking guy in the neighborhood. Like growing up, if we think about like the cutest guy that when we were young, who we thought the cutest guy was.
Yeah, I can't do that because as an adult, I see this young man now as an adult and like the sorcery that took place when he was younger. But yes,
so funny.
Yeah, he's the cutest one. But anyway, he is Star's best friend and really the catalyst for so much change in Star's young adult life. He is shot and killed by a white officer in the town's police department. I'm trying not to give too many spoilers on who he is because we find out later more about his character.
Like, we'll say Khalil is he's the starting point of the novel, the purpose of like where, Star's growth starts, right? Because she grows immensely as a result of his death and witnessing his murder.
Wait, do you hear that? That silence could be filled with an advertisement for your new product or brand. Email us at info@booksweshouldhaveread.com if you'd like to be a sponsor for and have your ad placed within the Books We Should Have Read podcast. We can't wait to welcome you to the family. So, the most important part of this novel for me is the Maverick Big Math Carter. Because like I was saying, like I know the book is about Star, but Maverick is the true star of this novel for me. He is a beautiful father. He is really like we said, such a huge pillar, excuse me, in this community. And like his inside knowledge to a lot of the struggles that these young men are going through, like it informs, I don't know, like I would just say he informs a lot of how Star moves around in this world. Does that make sense?
No, 100%. And there's a reason why Maverick gets his own book. He is something special in this story. Through The Hate You Give, and I would love for listeners to just let us know how they feel about this. But I felt like you in the book wanting to know more about Maverick. So it was only right that he gets his own book because he is such a great character. Like he checks all the boxes as a good person, a great father, great husband. He was amazing all around. So
fine as hell. We haven't talked about who played him in the movie, but what's his name? Do you have it up?
Hold on. I'll go back. I have up. Hold on. Let me get off of Angie.
I remember you told me before.
Russell Hornsby plays Maverick.
Yes. He's fine too, but like I would still say Anthony Mackie just does it for me in another way.
After the entire cast of The Hate You Give is the mood.
But I couldn't figure out. I remember we talked about this before. I couldn't figure out because he had cornrows in the movie and he has hair in the thumbnail that you just pulled up, right? Because I was worried that they gave him like lace front braids, but like even if it were lace front braids, it was still a really good job because he had cornrows in the movie. But yeah, anyway, Maverick. I feel like I just lust after Maverick altogether because he's just like the father that I wish I had, but then also the type of man that I would marry. Just someone who just
he checks all the boxes.
Checks all the boxes. I'm not to say that I would not want to partner up with someone who is very privileged because like I love money and things too, but it's just Maverick, just from where he's come from and then what he has today as in the reality in The Hate You Give. I just love seeing where he came from. And even as a young kid, see, I'm shadowing too much into Concrete Rose. He just had a really good spirit and I just love him. And I'm rambling now, but like y'all, like Maverick is like the juice. So Maverick and Lisa have really created this wonderful pro-Black foundation for their kids. And so even though Star is Williamson's Star when she's at school, she still can't help but carry a lot of her family's teachings in this environment. And so without being the angry Black woman, she's still able to like, she's still, what am I trying to say? Without exhibiting too much pro-blackness, she's still able to pick up on a lot of microaggressions that her friend Haley throws at her. One of them being that fucking fried chicken incident while playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And goes right. I try to stay on him, but my heavy stomach slows me down. He gets to the hoop and makes the layup. It's good. 5-2. Damn it, Star, Haley yells, recovering the ball. She passes it to me. Hustle. Pretend the ball's some fried chicken. Bet you'll stay on it then. What the actual fuck? The world surges forward without me. I hold the ball and stare at Haley as she jogs away, blue-streaked hair bouncing behind her. I can't believe she said she couldn't have. No way. The ball falls out of my hands. I walk off the court. I'm breathing hard and my eyes burn. The smell of post-game funk lingers in the girls' locker room. It's my place of solace when we lose a game, where I can cry or cuss if I want. I pace from one side of the lockers to the other. Haley and Maya rush in, out of breath. What's up with you? Haley asks. Me? I say, my voice bouncing off the lockers. What the hell was that comment? Lighten up. It was only game talk. A fried chicken joke was only game talk? Really? I ask. It's fried chicken day, she says. You and Maya were just joking about it. What are you trying to say? I keep pacing. Her eyes widen. Oh my God. You think I was being racist? I look at her. You made a fried chicken comment to the only black girl in the room. What do you think? Holy shit, Star. Seriously? After everything we've been through, you think I'm a racist? Really? You can say something racist and not be racist. Is something else going on, Star? Maya says. Why does everyone keep asking me that? I snap. Because you're acting so weird lately, Haley snaps back. She looks at me and asks, does this have something to do with the police shooting that drug dealer in your neighborhood? What? I heard about it on the news, she says. And I know you're into that sort of thing now. That sort of thing? What the fuck is that sort of thing? And then they said the drug dealer's name was Khalil, she says, and exchanges a look with Maya. We wanted to ask if it was Khalil who used to come to your birthday parties, Maya adds. We didn't know how, though. The drug dealer. That's how they see him. It doesn't matter that he's suspected of doing it. Drug dealer is louder than suspected ever will be. If it's revealed that I was in the car, what will that make me? The thug ghetto girl with the drug dealer? What will my teachers think about me? My friends? The whole fucking world, possibly. I close my eyes. Khalil stares at the sky. Mind your business, Star, he says. I swallow and whisper, I don't know that, Khalil. It's a betrayal worse than dating a white boy. I fucking deny him, damn near erasing every laugh we shared, every hug, every tear, every second we spent together. A million I'm sorries sound in my head, and I hope they reach Khalil wherever he is. Yet, they'll never be enough. But I had to do it. I had to. Then what is it? Haley asks. Is this like Natasha's anniversary or something? I stare at the ceiling and blink fast to keep from bawling. Besides my brothers and the teachers, Haley and Maya are the only people at Williamson who know about Natasha. I don't want all the pity. Mom's anniversary was a few weeks ago, Haley says. I was in a shitty mood for days. I understand if you're upset, but to accuse me of being racist, Star? How can you even? I blink faster. God, I'm pushing her away, Chris away. Hell, do I deserve them? I don't talk about Natasha, and I just flat out denied Khalil. I could have been the one killed instead of them. I don't have the decency to keep their memories alive, yet I'm supposed to be their best friend. I cover my mouth. It doesn't stop the sob. It's loud and echoes off the walls. One follows it, and another, and another. Maya and Haley rub my back and shoulders. Coach Meyer rushes in. Carter. Haley looks at her and says, Natasha. Coach nods heavily. Carter, go see Miss Lawrence.
Yeah, Haley to me, and I personally don't want to spend too much time on Haley because I think she's just, she is there to be an eye opener for Star and also Maya to be like, oh, we need to stop dealing with this little bitch. But she is a dangerous racist in that she's her microaggressions, very passive aggressive with the comments. And she's the type of racist that always irks me because they are the type of like, that is the type of person that says, well, I'm not racist because I have a black friend. And it's like, what?
Or I don't say the N-word. Or
yes,
when I'm rapping songs, I don't say this.
Yeah, I don't say the N-word, and I, and I have a black friend, so I'm not racist. How could I be? I think this is very dangerous thinking. And I think that Star picking up early on, like, and realizing, especially after Khalil's death, she's just like, nah. And I think it really happened when Haley tried to just be like, well, he was a drug dealer, like almost like he deserved it. And it's just like, no human deserves to get murdered. Like, it doesn't matter what their occupation was. And I think that was definitely a wake up call, because Star was like, okay, listen, you were not about to talk about Khalil like this. And also it was like Star's wake up call. It's like, wait, she does a lot of these things, because sometimes it's like you're just living, and then it's just like you hit a point where you're just like, yeah, no, you're not gonna ever do this again, and we're gonna put a stop to that. And she did. And I think it was perfect how she kind of handled the Haley situation. So I really again wanted to touch on, because I think this story benefits from the familial relationships. And when I say that, I mean with the family and also with the townspeople. It's like a neighborhood where everybody knows everybody. Everybody shops at the grocery store that Maverick owns. They all get their hair cut at the same barbershop. His name is escaping me now, the little old man that runs the barbershop. And people get their soul food from Reuben's. It's just like,
is it Mr. Lewis?
Mr. Lewis, yes. And then everybody gets their soul food from Reuben's. There's Bus Stop Tony, who is he's like the neighborhood drug addict, who's just like rolling around town. But it's just like there's this gaggle of characters that surrounds our family, that is the Carter family. And I just really loved Lisa's relationship with Star, and how like she keeps her kids on, like she keeps them in check, but she's also a supportive mom, and she's there for them, and she listens to them. Today, the street's blocked off. A crowd marches down the middle of it. They're holding signs and posters of Khalil's face and are chanting, "Justice for Khalil." I should be out there with them, but I can't join that march knowing I'm one of the reasons they're protesting. You know none of this is your fault, right? Mama asked. How in the world did she do that? I know. I mean it, baby. It's not. You did everything right. But sometimes right's not good enough, huh? She takes my hand, and despite my annoyance, I let her. It's the closest thing I get to an answer for a while. Saturday morning traffic on the freeway moves smoothly compared to weekday traffic. Sakani puts his headphones on and plays with his tablet. Some 90s R&B songs play on the radio, and Mama sings along under her breath. When she really gets into it, she attempts all kinds of runs and goes, "Yes, girl, yes." Out of nowhere, she says, "You weren't breathing when you were born." My first time hearing that. For real? I was 18 when I had you, still a baby myself, but I thought I was grown. Wouldn't admit to anybody that I was scared to death. Your Nana thought there was no way in hell I could be a good parent. Not wild Lisa. I was determined to prove her wrong. I stopped drinking and smoking, went to all of my appointments, ate right, took my vitamins, the whole nine. Shoot, I even played Mozart on some headphones and put them on my belly. We see what good that was. You didn't finish a month of piano lessons. I laugh. Sorry. It's okay. Like I was saying, I did everything right. I remember being in that delivery room, and when they pulled you out, I waited for you to cry. But you didn't. Everybody ran around, and your father and I kept asking what was wrong. Finally, the nurse said you weren't breathing. I freaked out. Your daddy couldn't calm me down. He was barely calm himself. After the longest minute of my life, you cried. I think I cried harder than you, though. I knew I did something wrong. But one of the nurses took my hand, Mama grabs my hand again, looked me in the eye, and said, "Sometimes you can do everything right, and things will still go wrong. The key is to never stop doing right." I don't know. I thought it was also like so cute that like Lisa didn't out to Maverick that Star had a boyfriend and that she had a white boyfriend at that. Like, I don't know why. Like, she was like, "I'm gonna do you this solid," but yeah. And I don't know. I just really love their relationship and just how that connection. And you see more of that connection when you read The Concrete Rose, even like from the moment, Lisa knows that she's pregnant. But like I just loved seeing that connection in this 16-year-old adolescent with her mom, who was a teen mom. So with her mom, who was like 33. But it's just like, I don't know. I just loved Lisa's growth from Concrete Rose to The Hate U Give. And I love that she's so ride or die for her family. Like, she loves her man. She loves her babies. She loves her career. And she's also another pillar. Like, we talked about Maverick being a pillar for the community. But, when there was like, when the riots were happening and she was checking on her older neighbors, and after Khalil's death, she went and checked on Miss Rosalie, who was Khalil's grandmother. She just really cares about her community as well, right? Because she grew up there with Maverick. They know these people. They've known these people their entire lives. And so I think like Lisa, like, I know Maverick for you is definitely a standout character. Lisa for me was a standout character as well. Just like, I just thought she was just all the things of an amazing, strong Black woman whose work is never done. Is there something you want to advertise on Books We Should Have Read? Email us at info@booksweshouldhaveread.com. That's info@booksweshouldhaveread.com.
So based off of a 5-star system, I would give The Hate U Give a 4.5. Just because it's 150 pages too long. Like, there was just some things in there that we just did not need. And I think, even though I did watch the movie too, I do think the book is better than the movie, but the movie did a great job at cutting out all the unnecessary things that we didn't need. Like Devontae's storyline. I get it.
Dude.
But it is...
We talked about this. I completely forgot about him. Remember, we talked about this. You guys that don't know, we had a little incident with audio, so we are re-recording this episode, and we talked about this in our first recording. You brought him up, and I was like, "Who?" And he had a whole storyline, and I just felt like it wasn't needed. So I agree with that. Like, we did. I'm sorry, Devontae. I'm sorry to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to that man.
Sorry to that man.
He did not need his storyline.
Sorry to that man. But then also, I also think that Angie could have left out a lot of Chris and Star's cringy moments. Like, I just hate it. It's just something about reading about a 16-year-old girl as a 32-year-old woman reading about her feelings towards this boy.
You know what it is, like, too? You have to, when you're reading anything with like young adult, how you get into it is you have to like go back to 16-year-old Ashley. Because 16-year-old Ashley, that's how I read it. That's how I read it. It was just like, okay, 16-year-old Kelly would be like, "Oh my God, this is so cute, her and Chris's relationship." But I'm like, you 32-year-old man is like, oh, like, okay.
This is kind of cringe. I even like the, what does your family cook on Thanksgiving? Like, how is macaroni and cheese a side dish, or is it a main course? And I just hate, and look, I'm visibly uncomfortable right now talking about it, because like I just do not have those conversations with white people, because I'm always on edge. Like, because if you say something super fugazi, I'm gonna have to slap the shit out of you, and I'm not a violent person. I'm not a killer, but don't push me.
I think that also has to do with, we talked about this too. I think that has to do with, because I said I didn't think it was cringy, but I've also been in an interracial relationship. So I think that like it for you, it could be because it's just like, you know, you've never had that, I guess you could say, a level of intimacy
with a white person.
With a white person. Whereas like with me, it's just like, well, if like you're dating somebody, like you want to ask some questions. Like for me, I know I was just like, so your mom only put salt and pepper in her food? Like we don't got no, we don't got no other seasonings in the pantry. It's just a salt and pepper household.
Right. I've also like my first college roommate was a white girl, and I used to go to her family's house and stuff like that, and even still, I would not bring those things up like at all. So I said that to say, like, sure, I didn't have a white boyfriend, but I had a white roommate who became my really good friend.
That's not the same, Ashley. That's not the same intimacy, bro. Oh my God. That's not the same. Because it's cringy to you, because it's like, I think it's the cringy part is like on an intimate level, and it's probably harder for you to picture like, how can you be comfortable having these conversations, right? Because if you've only dated people of color or people that are Black, those conversations just flow. Whereas with you, it's so outside the realm of like having to talk about that, because it's just understood, right? Like, you know, when you're dating somebody Black, like, you know that the mac and cheese is a side dish. Like that ain't nobody main course. But when you are dating somebody outside of your race or even of a different culture, right? Like any type of interracial relationship, you were learning from each other. So you have to ask those questions, because you have
to have those conversations.
You have to have those conversations, because you're not going to have a good relationship if you don't. Like you're just going to be at the table like confused and awkward. So that's where I think it came from. And that's why I don't blame you for thinking that's cringy, because like, why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I've never had to do it.
You've never had to do it. Whereas I have had to and been like, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. So, yes. So 4.5 rating, 150 pages too long, irregardless, with or without the whole like Chris cringy moment type shit. It was just too fucking long.
It was a long book. I do agree that it was a pretty long novel. I gave it a 5. It's on my 5-star list. I am very picky too, but I think I loved, and this is where I like, for me, when I read, I am obsessed with world building. The author's writing, and Angie brought us in to Garden Heights. I felt like I was a part of the community. I loved her writing. I loved her world building, her description of characters. I thought that she was so good at describing characters, but not taking like 5 pages to describe a character or something like that. Because sometimes I think writers can get too bulky. I even find myself doing that. You just write too much because you want to
like a whole chapter dedicated to an outfit.
Okay. Oh, shade. The shade of it all. Okay.
We'll get there later.
We'll get there on another episode. But yeah, it's like, but seriously, I thought that like she did a phenomenal job, and I loved her writing. And I just thought, wow, like she's special. Like I understand why this book got optioned for a movie so quickly, because it's special, and she is definitely one to watch. I think we will be talking about her in Black literary classics years and years from now. Like, her writing.
Absolutely.
I think we will be talking about her. So I gave it a 5. It was long, but I thought that other than Devontae, like the Devontae part, I don't even mind, because I completely forgot about him. Second time recording this, and I still forgot about that boy. And like, but like, I thought it was a long book, but I really liked it. So 5 for me. 5 out of 5 for me. Good job, Angie.
Good job, Angie.
Hey guys, don't forget to like, review, and subscribe to Books We Should Have Read. And don't forget to leave suggestions for books you would like us to read for future collections. This podcast is a Books We Should Have Read production with sound engineering and editing by About Right Media. The dope-ass track you hear in the background was produced by Ty.2. That's Ty, Ty.2. @2WO on Instagram. Hey Ty! Follow Books We Should Have Read on Instagram @Books We Should Have Read to stay up to date with all the BWSR happenings. Follow Ashley @BashWiser on Instagram and me @Kelly Likes to Read on Instagram. If you like what you heard and you want to support this Black woman-owned and operated movement financially, there is an Anchor link in the show notes where you can do just that. Any and everything is welcome and appreciated. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye y'all.